So my next question is, as a person, as like a creative person goes through these situations, can you or should people separate the artist from, let's say, the work?
Oh, I hate that
Yeah,
question.
I mean,
It's such a hard. I mean, everybody has their own opinion on that question, but I'll let you go ahead. What do you think?
I mean, obviously they're separate entities. Like, I'm not the artwork you're looking at and judging. You're looking at something I made that's separate from me. So,
But we're talking about like
yes,
the
but
evildoer.
I did make it, so it's still connected to my thoughts, ideas, and perspective.
Hmm.
So if you judge my work, I'll try not to take a personality.
So you can't separate them, or
I
you
think you
can't.
can to a point. I think they're obviously separate, so yes, you can separate them. So when you talk about my work, you're not talking to me about me as a human being, but you're talking about what I did just now in order to make
Let
this.
me ask you this. Rather than from a conversation standpoint, from a moral standpoint, considering a creator and the creation, should the creator's mishap or negative aspects of that be considered when someone else is interacting with their creation?
Should you delete R. Kelly's discography?
Should you delete R. Kelly's?
Should you mute R. Kelly? That's what everybody's saying. Mute R. Kelly. Like, never listen to another R. Kelly song.
I
Like
think
it's
that's a
not
personal
available.
decision.
No, but like it's like we're
No,
talking about
I
like
don't think.
publicly not
No,
available anywhere.
no, it should still be accessible because that's censorship. That again runs into dictatorship. No. You should not dictate what I believe or what I listen to or what I want to watch, period.
Because that's what the whole conversation is. It's about
No.
censorship versus
That's the whole
criticism.
point of
Because there,
USA is that you can you have freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want and you can watch whatever you want.
hmm
That's the whole point. That's the whole reason why people move here.
So when people are getting like
It's that I can
banned
out
from radio
loud
stations,
say.
when music getting banned from radio stations, and people getting like deplatformed and stuff like that, like, is that
I think
okay?
that's, I think that's like, that's the major point of the conflict, right? Like, that's the conflict between the liberals and the conservatives, because the liberals are actually behaving like conservatives when they go to that point of, oh, we're deleting, we're eliminating, we're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually behaving in the same way as a dictator, as like, why they hate the conservatives in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's just ignorance. Like at the end of it, that's like communism. Like you know, the Trump person should be able to believe in Trump. They should have that right
Yep.
to have make America great again. I don't want their entire house. It's their own fucking house. They live there. They should have that right to do that. But they shouldn't have the right to make laws that dictate my life. My life, who doesn't believe in what they say. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, that's the point of the U.S. That's the point of the U.S. is that you should be able to believe in what you believe as long as it doesn't affect somebody outside.
That's how it should be, but
Yeah.
it's not how
So
it's
when
been
liberals
operating.
start acting like their fucking parents, because that's what they grew up in, anyways, they're not as open minded as they all think they are. Because that's how they start behaving, That's their
Yeah.
behavior. Like, we're gonna mute these people or take this, da da da. Like, then they're just looking in the mirror, honestly. Like, when they're talking about Trump or conservatives or Republicans, it's like you're basically talking about yourself.
I mean, me personally, like, I'm not. R. Kelly, definitely, like, I mean, I don't necessarily know if I believe everything that's thrown at him, but there's definitely too much shit to, like, ignore about him. And
I mean, we always knew he liked teenage girls.
yeah, for sure. But
it's just, which is weird.
But it's like,
But
will I get rid of his music from my discography? Will I never have like those moments
I
and
I
those
think that's
songs
your choice.
that are
I think
like,
you should have that choice.
yeah, I mean,
That's your
my
choice.
choice personally is I can separate, you know, that person from an art or something they create. Like it's not, they're not intrinsically entwined to me. You know,
but then I get that feeling when I listening to it about those weird vibes that make me feel weird, and then I don't want to hear his voice anymore. So that's when I stopped turning. I like recently. It just happened recently. Like it just like I couldn't hear one thing. Like it was because
But
I still
also,
hear
like-
it on the radio. Like Ignition and shit comes on still.
When you listen to this song, you are supporting that human.
am I?
At the same time, yeah, because you're giving him another play, you're giving him another hit,
I don't
you're buying
stream.
another album.
But I'm not
Well, his
streaming.
streaming numbers went up.
I mean, that's
Whatever.
They peaked
Expected.
right
You're
now.
still
His
supporting-
streaming numbers have peaked right now. They're at a
I'm
high.
not buying his
That's
music
practice.
in. I'm not streaming. So
I know. I'm just saying, like this backlash has actually helped R. Kelly make more money.
that's predictable.
Yeah,
Controversy
because
sells.
If he didn't have controversy, like the whole newer generation wouldn't even know who the fuck he was. He's been so off for such a long time that the newer generation wouldn't even know who he was.
They would know who he was. They might not know his music like that, but they would know
They
who
know
he
his
was.
name. They just they probably wouldn't know a song. They might know like
Yeah.
one song maybe.
Like, I'm talking like a middle schooler now. If there wasn't controversy, they wouldn't know who the hell R. Kelly was.
He's got a hell of a discography. So it's just like, it's kind of playing out like the fucking Boondocks episode, honestly. Like, again.
Oh my God.
Once again.
That shit was so crazy. No, but for real.
Once again. Going through this shit once
How
again.
do you feel about the whole, like, Bill Cosby situation?
I feel about Bill Cosby situation the exact same way Dave Chappelle felt about it.
What did he say? I don't remember.
So his basic gist was, this was the rape joke that he did, which he set up literally from the first joke to the very last line of one of his stand-ups. I forget, the one in LA.
Yeah. He did such a good job on that.
Amazing. And people were mad about it. But I was like, this is like literally the best rape joke
So
I've
good.
ever heard in my life. And it wasn't
Yeah.
like, he saves, but he rapes. That's what his thing. Like, yeah, he did all this
Yeah,
fucked up
that's
shit.
okay.
But at the same time, he did do a lot of things for like the black community and for like presenting us in like a different light and opening doors and doing all this stuff. Yeah, he did all this fucked up shit.
Yeah.
But he raped people. And it's like, so should I just throw away every good thing they ever did because of this? Or can I separate, you know, that thing? And for me, like I said, I can separate. Like, I don't look at people who create things as like these, put them on a pedestal or like these idols. Like, I just assume most people have fucked up things about them anyways. And I just think like, once you create something, kind of put it out there to the world, it's no longer really yours. Like, people bring their own shit to it and people take their own things away from it. So it's like, it's not 100% that person's anymore. So I can separate the two things. And like, so the whole Bill Cosby situation, I feel exactly the same way with Dave. Like, I've always felt like he was a fucking dickhead and probably like did a lot of fucked up shit. But at the same time, he
You
did
didn't
do
think
a lot
that.
of good. No, I did. I've never liked Bill Cosby like that. I've heard a lot of
He's
things.
an asshole.
Because
No,
the way
but
the way he talks about like the younger generation about black people and like just his whole uppity shit. Like, I don't
With
like
Eddie
people
Murphy.
like that.
He hated Eddie Murphy.
Oh,
Yeah, Bill Cosby was talking shit.
He
He
used
was
to talk a lot of shit, and it's like,
basically he was like
Oh, he's always kind of
comedians
been
were
an
vile.
asshole.
yeah,
Yeah, because he was the non-cussing, clean
Yeah.
version. So he
Oh,
was
he
And
was
for
like-
me-
the other
like-
side.
And for
go
me, people
talking
that are
about
like
it.
that
Yeah, he
goody
was
goody.
America's comedian. Like,
Yeah, he was America's dad. He was
yeah,
America's
he's America's
dad.
dad. Like,
Literally
Bill
America's
Cosby
dad.
was the most American.
At one point, he almost
one
bought
point,
NBC.
he was the most
At one
famous
point, he
person.
almost bought NBC. They just wouldn't let him do it, but he tried to buy
At
NBC.
the one point before we found out about everything.
This was way before that though. But I mean, people knew
Like
about this.
3 years.
People,
Way before. It's like,
it was more than 3 years, bro. It was more than 3 years, and people have been talking about his shit for a long fucking time. Like, it's not like, yeah, he just got in trouble for it now. But people been talking about that shit for fucking more than a decade, bro. There have been jokes about that shit for a while. But
oh yeah.
the thing is, like, yeah, okay. I've always thought he was like kind of an asshole, the way he talks to people and the way, and if anybody is like this, presents like this, I'm holier than thou, like I'm so good, like I don't fuck up, I don't do this. I just automatically think he's probably did some fucked
he's
up
hiding
shit.
something.
Oh, he's like a fucked up person. Like, oh, behind the scenes, like he's probably like real
You could
fucked
probably
up.
flip a switch.
Yeah, like, so I never trusted that image of him. Like, I've never thought this guy was like this perfect person. Like, nah, it's just like,
Yeah.
everybody who does that is always overcompensating. So, like, I've always felt that way about it. So I wasn't even surprised when it happened. But I'm like, yeah, but at the same time, should he just throw away everything he ever did? Because he did do a lot of things for a lot of people, and especially in the black community. And it's like, no, I wouldn't. I can't. And I can separate the two. I can say at the same time, he is a shit person.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time, I can say he did a lot of good shit. I can say those two things at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive to me.
Mm-hmm.
You can be both. You can be a fucking terrible person and you can do some great shit at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the world we're kind of entering more into.
You can't hide shit anymore.
The less binary world where it's good or bad and it's more them, they.
I think that's better because
World.
binary was always fake. The world is never, to me,
It's not
been
real.
binary.
It's not black or white. It's always gray, right?
People always were fucked up people. It was just, you can't hide shit anymore.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Like, shit comes up all the time now. You can't hide shit. Your past will always come back to you, especially if it's on the internet. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, so people are like acting so surprised when they find out fucked up things about people. But me, I'm just like, well, he was probably fucked up anyways. Like, I just assume like he probably had some fucked up shit about him. So at the same time, I can say he was a fucked up person, but he did great shit.
I get that to a point, but at some point you are, at some point you have to be held accountable for something.
No, I agree. He should be held
hurting
accountable.
another person, and what he did was hurtful to other
1000%.
people. And you
He's in jail.
should, yeah,
He's in
you
jail.
should go to jail for that.
But then should I say fuck
No
everything
matter
he
how
ever
many
did?
good things you did, no matter how many good things you did.
I agree. He should go to jail. I 1,000 agree. But should I say at the same time, like, fuck everything he did? Like, I wouldn't. I would say fuck everything he
No.
did. I would just be like,
Like-
he was a shitty person. Like, and when you talk about him, I would say he was a shitty person.
Not fuck everything you said, but if you do a good thing, you get praised. If you do a bad thing, you get punished. Like, he was praised, and he probably is still praised for the good things that he did to those people that he affected, and he is getting punished for the bad things.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I never answered, but yeah, I definitely think you can separate. So
I think it should be that
I
way.
would
Like,
think-
people try to make it black or white. Either all the way this, or either all the way
They
this.
only
Because-
try to
Like,
do
that's
that
not
for,
how life
but it's only
works.
circumstantial.
Because when you're in a position of power, because when you have money, people become toxic where they feel they can do anything they want to do. They feel they can do the worst thing in the world and they won't get into trouble for it. Because
But I
they
never
don't-
said they
because
shouldn't
they
be held
donate to
accountable.
charity. No, I know. I'm not saying you're saying that. But that's one of the reasons why people feel so strongly about blacklisting these people, because they want them to feel some sort of punishment, because they're so rich, they're so wealthy, they're so well off, they're so successful that they won't feel punishment unless we hold back.
But banishment
that's-
should never be held for all cases equally. Because not all situations
It's
are
not, though. It's not that way. They're not all held equally.
They try to. They were trying to. I don't say they always try to, but they've been trying to. Well, all cases, anything happened, complete blacklist. Complete banishment, basically.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with you, but whatever. You can think what you want to think.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah. I still think, I think Kevin Hart should apologize again.
He already,
If it's
he
still
just did.
upsets people.
Like yesterday.
I know he did. I saw
So
it.
you gotta do it
I saw
again?
it. No.
Every
but
day of
if-
his life
Maybe.
for a
Until he does something big enough
for
where
such
that
a
shines
soft
for fuckery.
joke. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I just don't understand the backlash on that at all.
It's like,
the
you
way,
should
like,
be
if you
able
hear
to-
the joke,
should
it
be
was the
able
like
to
he said, it was the most
respond to
PC way you
people.
could say it. It's
If you
Kevin
put
Hart
out-
we're talking about.
If you put out statements when you're in a position of influence and you put out statements and there's always going to be people. It's like when you're a professor in school and you're talking about these things in a godly type of way, students are going to ask you questions and question you. When
And
you're a
also-
parent to a child, it's the same thing.
wait.
Like when you're in a position of influence and you're putting out these statements like this is what it is or this is how I feel, people are always going to come back and question you. And you should be able to respond to that without getting upset. Period. You should be able to respond to that, and your response is more telling than who you of who you are and your sentiment than anything than what you said in the first place. Most likely. Like if Kevin Hart came out and said, fuck you, I don't give a, and he was like, he didn't apologize. He was like, that was a long time ago. Why am I still hearing about this? Blah, blah, blah. That would be more telling of him as a person. And people would be more against him. But because he came out and said, I'm sorry, I said this when I was whatever.
He actually came out and said it the first way.
I meant it a different way or whatever he said, but he came out and he acknowledged the people who were talking about him. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Kevin Hart will be fine.
Yeah.
That
It was an
backlash is
argument.
different from the other backlash, so people who are listening don't confuse it with the same level of shit.
Yeah, like Louis C.K. will not be fine. Louis C.K. will get
He'll be fine.
ousted.
He'll
Kevin
be
Hart
fine.
could have even still hosted the Oscars. He still might even. We don't know yet.
I think Louis C.K. will be more ousted. Further ousted.
No,
Oh, definitely.
he won't. I'm going to tell you right now, he won't.
Oh, I guarantee it.
I guarantee you he won't. I guarantee you he does a big stand up within the year. This
Oh,
year.
yeah, that's probably when they're going to get him out. That doesn't mean... that.
How are you going to get him out?
Doesn't prove my point wrong.
He's a
though.
comedian. You're only hearing one side. You're not hearing the other side that is backing him because of this. This is what I'm telling you. There's a
Yeah, but
very large
you're
side of
talking,
people
but you
that are
won't let
backing
me
him
talk.
because of this.
The only things that need to happen are somebody's going to file a lawsuit against Louis C.K.
For
It's
what?
going to be very public, and that's going to be the end.
A lawsuit
That's
about
it.
what?
He
No,
doesn't
I
have
mean,
a lawsuit.
About
All
what?
these other niggas got jail time in cases. Louis C.K.'s cases are no cases. There's no pending charges. It's just talk.
So
Where's
how's
the
he going to
cases
be
at?
ousted? How's he going to be a lawsuit? What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. Is it's not there yet? So what you're talking about is something that's not here yet either. So
It's
we're
been a year.
talking
No,
about
there's not going to be
hypothetical-
any charges. There are no charges.
That's because nobody's
I
filed.
think he'll definitely have.
He
his
never
own-
held. Hold on. He
own
never held
watch
somebody
out
against their
video.
will.
You
It was
can
all
see
consensual.
dudes
It was
laughing in
creepy,
the
but it was
background.
all consensual.
A
So
guy who
again,
admitted to masturbating in front of women could easily be sued. Easily.
they all said it was consensual.
Sexual
Once
harassment
again,
or something.
they all said it was
Or like-
consensual. So that's out of the window.
I think he'll be ousted by a lot
We'll
of
see.
people. There obviously will be people who support him, just like
He will be fine.
R. Kelly.
I
who
1000%.
But I
cares?
don't
His
think-
show went down.
He's going to do
like,
stand-up
Louis
still.
CK, I don't care.
I don't think
if his
he'll
stuff
have,
isn't
like-
good, it doesn't matter. Like, who
I don't
cares?
think he'll
He just
have
gotta
like
make
the
something.
mass appeal that he did before this controversy.
I guess it's the legacy play. Like,
He'll lose
what
people for a little bit of time, and he'll make a good stand up. He'll make something, and I guarantee he'll be fine.
Nah. As long as he doesn't get too depressed.
I mean, yeah, he'll be fine, but I just don't think
That's so funny.
he'll be able to reach the heights he was potentially able to reach before.
Oh, he definitely took a hit. No, he definitely took a hit. I'm saying it's going to take time,
Yeah.
but people don't stay angry for that long.
Oh.
I don't think so. He just needs, if he makes some good jokes, he makes a good stand up. I
It's
think a
just
lot
weird
of people
because the
will.
community.
I mean, I think he lost all women supporters.
I wouldn't say all.
Yeah, I wouldn't say all.
Well, no, but a lot of women supporters, most of his women supporters, I think he lost.
Well, there were women in the audience in that clip we just listened.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you could listen to the laughs, there were way more male laughs than women laughs.
Yeah.
Okay.
There weren't that many people laughing. I didn't hear a bust out.
All the people who
Okay.
laughed sounded like dudes.
Okay, they all paid tickets though,
Yeah.
laughing.
Exactly.
And paying. He still got his bet.
So I think he has less of women's supports and stuff.
Well,
Well,
I don't know. Trump has a lot of women support, so I don't know that that's necessarily true either.
They're not the same. You cannot compare Trump with Louis C.K.
can't compare half the things we're comparing to each other.
Although Louis C.K. is kind of the Trump of comedy. No, I just compared them.
That's a whole another lane you could go into, honestly.
Right, where you could just say Trump is kind of like that. He just says
Says
whatever.
what the fuck he wants, and you keep saying what the fuck you want, and then people just deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, people kind of want him to do. Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I don't know. I think backlash is good. I think these people coming out and being asshats in public is a good thing because it's making other people come out and fight against them and put themselves in position of power where they didn't feel the need to before. So I think there's a lot of like changes happening in the next 10 years that are going to be a result of this time right now. So,
What kind of changes do you think?
I think there'll be more of a presence of women in politics and policy making, and I think that just on its own has the potential to change the world. Period. So,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. The United States has such a central position in world politics, and this shift that's happening within this country is telling of the world and is telling of the future. And I can see things. I have hope, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think it's all doom.
I never
I
think it's
there's
doom.
always, there's always got to be you always got to kind of fall flat on your face before you can get up and figure out who you are, you know?
I just think we're at in a hyper extreme moment right now, particularly due to the internet and just the
Yeah,
whole new
social media.
figuring out social media shit. And
Yeah, because
New
everybody
norms,
has the
basically.
platform to have an opinion
yes,
out loud.
yeah, new norms basically, and it's gonna take some time, but we'll see. We'll see. But that is it for today's podcast. We had a pretty deep dive on this topic. We want to know what you guys think about it. What do you guys think about, the Kevin Spacey, Louis C.K., R. Kelly, Kevin Hart situations? What do you guys think about the public, arguments on both sides? What do you think about the backlashes, the pushback, just everything? What do you guys think about where things are headed? Let us know in the comments down below. And, get back to you.